everybody, we're getting started here in just a few minutes. Alright, I got that message up to anyone who's looking about the discount code. Acquaint Stitch, the lovely individual who works anything today. See how much you guys are tapping out now. Acquaint Stitch has given us a 10% off discount code. Good today and tomorrow. So through the 5th of November. And it is Wayfarer SAL, and it is specific to caps lock, so uppercase, lowercase. Just so you know. So that is, and you have to go through the DNVY website, PayHip, which is listed on the screen. So that's there. And I think we'll get started in just a little while. I'm trying to make sure I have everything in front of me. You guys are going to be disappointed in me. I do not have all my patterns cut out on the pretty see-through pattern pieces like I normally do. I just did not have time today. Anyone else feel like the day just goes by so dang quick you can't breathe? Song in my head and I can't get it out. You guys pick some of the most interesting patterns for me to work. I have not done. No, I never would have done the Journey travel bag. I never would have fallen in love with this wallet like we did last time. And this backpack looks amazing. It looks like so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Vinyl. Ever have your vinyl just unroll on you? Completely was not expecting it. Alright, we're almost 5 after, so let's get started, shall we? Aha. So I have a new streaming setup. I'm hoping that this is a little bit clearer. You can see the prep table a little bit better. We are doing the Wayfarer Sling backpack, which looks like so much fun. I have a little bit more of a delay on my stream, so it's usually about 30 seconds between when I say something and you guys hear it, or when you type something and I see it in the comments. Just so you know. So if there's a little bit of a slow reaction time, I apologize. It's probably going to be closer to like 35, no, seconds instead of 30. And I'm excited. This one looks like that. Okay. So I am doing Jack Skeleton for this guy. I'm actually doing 2 of them. I'm doing Jack Skeleton on this one, and oh, my sound has an echo. Lovely. Thank you for telling me, Cheryl. Let's see if I can redo that. I have 2 outlets that the sound goes through. All right, guys. Let me know how that sound goes. but I'm doing this pattern in the Jack Skeleton fabric, and then I've got Hello Kitty on the other side, so it's completely diverse setups, which is entertaining. But at least I'll know, you know, which thread goes with which. It'll be really obvious, and I won't mix up the pattern pieces. All right. I'm so excited. I am very easily excited these days. Okay. So that's my main fabric. It is a cotton weight only, so I'm going to double interface it. So what she recommends in the pattern is that if you're doing a decorator fabric that kind of stands up on its own, then you're fine. If you're doing a decorator fabric that kind of wobbles and wiggles a little bit, you're going to want to interface it with one layer. If you're doing a cotton weight, you're going to want to do 2 layers of she uses SF101, obviously. I'm using wool infused. No change. No change. Less than helpful. Let's see. Let's make sure my audio from my desktop audio was picking it up. That might have fixed the problem. Let me know if it's any better after the keyboard is removed from there. And you know, like I said, it's a brand new setup. I have a new version of Windows. I have a brand new camera. I have everything has been moved. My sewing machine camera is a lot better because we used the old camera from here because the sewing machine camera was absolutely horrible. So everything got moved around, and I told my husband that we had a month to get this figured out, and we figured it out by this afternoon. So that was entertaining. And thank you very much for the feedback, Cheryl. I really appreciate it. It makes my life a lot easier because I actually want you guys to enjoy your time as well, because I like doing these. These are fun. Okay, so until someone tells me whether or not the sound is behaving or misbehaving, I'm going to talk about materials. So we're doing a cutout session. I even have a new chair for my sewing machine. The little rolly chair. It's all over. It's so much fun. It's the little things that make me happy. All right. So we're going to talk about the materials that are required. And I love this pattern. Have you guys looked at this? This pattern is so much fun. I love this page. This page is awesome. So this page tells you, okay, no change, but I can understand you. Well, I'm glad you can understand me. Let me see if I can. That's my fan. Let's turn that off. Well, understanding and actually enjoying the sound is kind of important. Let me look up one more thing. Yeah, Karen, we're working on that. Thank you so much for telling me. I do appreciate it. I found it. The camera for this camera was picking up the audio for some strange, obscure reason that I do not understand. And hi, Sherry. So do me a favor. Double check me on the audio. Thank you so very much for telling me. I do appreciate it. Anything else that's weird or wonky during the stream, please say something. You are supposed to enjoy this as much as I do. So, this page on the pattern, I love this page on the pattern because it shows you pictures of the 2 different styles, but not only that, yay! Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Cheryl. Everybody, thank you so much for giving me feedback and making sure that this actually behaves itself. You guys rock. You guys rock. Okay, so this page. I would love to see more pattern makers do things like this because it's literally showing you, okay, this piece right here, this is what I call front flap panel. This piece right here, this is top strap tab, because you don't always understand what the pattern maker is calling front flap panel may not be what you would call the front flap panel. And I absolutely love this page. Love it to pieces. That and this pattern looks like a lot of fun anyway. But this is one of my favorite things, and I wish that more pattern designers would take a look at and delve into and use this idea. I know a couple other pattern designers have done things like this, and I just love it because it makes life so much easier because you can design it, because I don't like doing everything in one color. It drives me crazy, but that's me. I'm going to do Jack Skeleton on part. I have some really wild, I've got this diamond piece, I've got this, it looks like chicken wire, but no one's going to realize it's chicken wire when it's put up against Jack Skeleton. And I want to use different colors and different patterns with this main piece, and how am I going to know what I want where? This particular page 2 of the pattern helps me do that. So let's talk about supplies, because I always go through the supplies on the cutout day, because you're going to want to know what in the world she's asking for, or the pattern designer is asking for. So we were talking earlier about how they start with a decor weight exterior, and if you don't use that weight of fabric, if you use the cotton like I'm using, it's suggested that you put 2 layers of interfacing on instead of just 1, so that it can stand up on its own. This backpack is meant to be a little bit flexible, but not slouchy. And if you leave it slouchy, then you're going to get not such a great result. Your bag isn't going to have any substance, it's not going to stand up, and it's not going to be as protected, the stuff inside. So if you have a decorator weight fabric that stands up on its own, or you're using cork or vinyl or something like that, then you don't need to interface. If you're using a decorator weight fabric that is a little bit flexible, then you might want to do just 1 layer of interfacing. I'm using a cotton, I'm going to do 2. Or you could do the Decaville light, but I think that might be a little too crisp. I still want a little bit of flexibility in it, so I'm going to do a lightweight foam. I'm actually going to use felt, which is going to be fun, instead of foam. But if you go with a heavier interfacing, you might want to use a lighter weight foam. If you go with lighter weight interfacing, you might want to use a heavier foam. There's tons of options out there. It all depends on what you like and how you like your things to feel. So, and of course she says read the directions before you actually start, because I almost never read the directions before I actually start. The day of my sew-alongs, I usually skim through like the first 5 pages, or the next 5 pages that we'll be doing, and hopefully I understand, and if I don't, well, that's entertaining for you, right? Hopefully you guys don't stumble along with me. Now, help me remember, seam allowances are 3/8 of an inch, unless she says so otherwise. That's another thing that I love. I hate wasting fabric in my seam allowance. You're like, cut, stitch it 5/8 of an inch and cut to what until it's 1/8. It drives me crazy, because I've wasted fabric. Not that I've wasted much, but it's the principle of the thing. So we talked about the weight of your fabric. She says 2 yards of lining, which can be anything. A piece, 5x10 piece of leather, vinyl, cork, or accent piece. So because we're doing the option 2, which is 2 double zippers, it's the actual picture is this one right here. She uses a smaller piece, a smaller vinyl accent piece, and I should stop saying she, because that's, I mean, sure, but guys can design purses too. Chris does. So the option 2 has a smaller accent piece there than option 1 does, and I didn't even bother cutting out option 1 because I knew we weren't going to do it. So this actually, I just grabbed a scrap and cut it out really quick, and that one was easy. Don't think I'm going to need glue today. We'll need clips. So that one's done. Don't think I'm going to need them. I still have like a dozen plastic zip around wallets sitting over by my sewing machine, amusingly enough. Okay, 3 yards of interfacing. And then at the bottom under the asterisk it talks about extra interfacing you might need, more layers, fewer layers, etc. 3/4 of a yard of foam fusible fleece interfacing. So one of the things that I have found is that, so I was walking around the fabric store and I was looking at the price of foam and cringing, because we all know that everything from Pelon gets really expensive. And I was looking at the foam interfacing, and so I felt it, and you figure out, you walk around, and the other thing that you can use is headliner material for cars, and that comes on rolls over by the decorator fabric, by the utility fabrics. In case you can't tell, I shop at Joann's a lot. But the other thing I was feeling was I had some felt, and it was on huge sale, so I went and got it. And it does shrink, so I steamed the pieces that I'm going to use before I cut them out. But felt has a really good soft feel, but it gives that padding and that substance that you want from foam without the rigidity. So I'm going to use 2 layers of interfacing for the stiffness of the fabric, because I want that to stand up, but I don't want it to necessarily have to lean on the foam for that standing up. But that's my choices, so keep in mind, you can do exactly as the directions say and you'll be perfectly fine. 1 10-inch long all-purpose zipper for exterior back. I have a plethora of zippers hanging out. I went to Amazon. This is one of my smaller. You just order from 100 zippers of this length. So I have a ton of these kind of zippers, so I never worry about getting these zippers. It was the exterior ones that I really wanted to make sure I got. So I can use any color. The one for Hello Kitty is probably going to be white because the Hello Kitty fabrics are really bright. This one is probably going to be white because it's going to be on the chicken wire color, the chicken wire fabric background, or just a solid black. And I'll want the accent. I might actually go this yellow. There's a little yellow in the bat's eyes. But again, that's color choices. 1 7.5-inch long zipper for exterior front flap. So that's this little zipper that goes diagonally right there. And I'm going to make that a different colored one. 3 1-inch D-rings. Let me grab those real quick. I have a whole bunch of just supplies sitting around, and my husband put computer stuff on top of my sewing stuff. And the keys upside down and showing them. Off Amazon, because that's where I can afford and handle getting my hardware from. And I also have some D-rings that are just hanging around from an old project. How many do we need? 3 1-inches. Yeah, we'll use these guys for this project. And oh look, there's 3 more for my other version. And that leaves me with of that type. I think these were salvaged from a purse that no longer is in service. But I got these, I'm not sure you can tell, off of Amazon. It was in a big pack, so they look very similar. These have got a bit more of an arch. And so I'm going to use these just for fun, because I want to use them that hardware. Alright, so we got those. 1 1-inch swivel clasp for strap. 1-inch swivel clasp. I don't have a hard time finding the 1-inch ones. I mean, short trimmed. There. the like monster huge ones. Ah, here we go. I should be using the gunmetal hardware on this one. That'd be beautiful. But since I've already started with silver, I'll stay with silver. And these are a little bit more rounded, so they kind of go with the rounded hardware too. And again, Amazon is my friend. It's kind of hard to find the right keywords to search for this stuff on Amazon, though. I should make a list on Amazon and share it with you guys. And I'm setting up 2 sets of hardware. Ooh, you're too big. Because I'm doing 2 bags. Because this one's fun. So you might see my Hello Kitty fabric bouncing around every once in a while. Because I'm pulling everything up for the 2 sets. One 1-inch tri-slide glider. Oh, right. I should have just grabbed it while I was in there. I'm like, what is a tri-slide glider? That's the other thing that drives me crazy, is no one has the same wording for all of these pieces. And I got these from the same place that I got the D-rings. And that's a 1 1/4. Way too small. You are just right. You are just right. I have a couple of them sitting out here, so I figured I'd double check. These aren't very rounded, but no one's really going to see them anyway. There we go. Silver, and I love silver. That's why all of my hardware is silver. I'm a silver person. Other people are prone to gold. I can't wait to see the ones that you guys make. I got to see some of the Journey travel bags at the retreat, and I've seen a couple of your guys' plastic zipper rod wallets come through. It's really fun to see the projects you guys come up with. And I love color. I love patterns. I love playing with different things. You guys make it so much more fun. One 1-inch wide slide release buckle. Okay, so this is your slide release buckle, and I'm sure you're all familiar with it, but get that. That is your slide release buckle. That's what that is. So I have one in black, and for Hello Kitty, I have one in white, because the black one would not go with the Hello Kitty one, so I can't put this one over here unless I go get another one. So this is my Hello Kitty stash. This is my Jack Skeleton stash. 1 1/4 yard of 1-inch wide nylon. So one of the things I want to tell you guys is this is the wide nylon webbing strapping. Again, I really wish we'd standardize words. I mean, it's pretty standard to be fair. Volume's a little bit low. I can definitely adjust that, not a problem. As soon as I find my mouse, there we go. And there we go. Thank you, Sherry. I do appreciate it. And hey, if it's too loud, you guys will tell me in a minute anyway. No problem. Please continue for the feedback. I really appreciate it. Because I'm not going to know if there's a problem if you don't tell me. And I want you guys to have fun. So 1 1/4 yard of the 1-inch wide nylon webbing strapping. That's what this is. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'm sure you have bags with, have had bags like in high school with it. I think this stuff is awesome because there's no way you can hurt it. Just a word of caution. Oh, good, this one is. So I got this at Joann's, and it was by the other webbing by the yard. It comes in 2-yard cuts. And I just grabbed them because there's a lot of colorful pieces there. And I know I'd be doing a lot of black, so I picked up a gray for Jack Skeleton and obviously pink for Hello Kitty. When we start using this, you guys might get a little worried. I'm going to pull out my lighter, which I'm not quite sure where it is at the moment, but I do keep one in my studio. And in my opinion, you should as well. Because when you cut this, it will unravel if you do not sear off the edge. You really want to put a flame to it because otherwise it will not close up. And Laura Jean, hi from Kentucky, and thank you, Sherry, for feedback on making sure my volume got back up. I have an ex-husband in Kentucky. Don't worry, I won't hold it against you. It's just the first thing that came out of my brain. Okay, so we've gone over, oh, we're not done. A 9x6 piece of mesh fabric, which I bought them for here it is. I bought this mesh fabric for, what was I doing? A bag of the month club. And I did not end up liking the project that it ended up going for. But that's okay, because I gave it to my aunt-in-law, my husband's aunt, which I'm sure she's my aunt too, for Christmas, and her jaw dropped and she was amazed, and it was really fun. I love doing that, making bags that when I decide I don't like them, they go to Christmas presents. But I have this mesh fabric. It was at Joann's as well. I'm going to use it for both my Jack Skeleton and my Hello Kitty. I'm kind of keeping the Hello Kitty on the down low so you guys can see it when it's all done. I'll make all my mistakes on this one instead. And now keep in mind, we're doing style 2. Style 2 has got the double zipper at the front. So it's got extra compartments in that front. So be careful, don't go cutting out style 1 stuff when you want style 2 stuff. Because we're doing style 2, we need 2 7.5-inch long zippers for the bag interior, which I'm going to use the zippers that I showed you earlier, just the regular nylon ones. And 2 16.5-inch long all-purpose zippers for the compartments. So that's the part that goes up and over the top. And for Jack, I ended up getting 2 black zippers, just molded plastic teeth, and for my Hello Kitty one, they didn't have the shorter ones. These are 18, these are 24-inch, but I have the same molded plastic for those guys. So far, so good. Okay, so the other stuff that they say is optional is a Teflon or walking foot while you're sewing the leather on, coordinating thread, which in my opinion is not optional, but hey, that's cool. Wonder clips, if you have not gotten your fingers on these guys, they're awesome. You can get like 100 of them at Joann, or on Amazon. That's one of the things that I really recommend getting on Amazon instead of Joann's, because Joann's, they're really expensive, and on Amazon they're not. My husband got them for me, he's a very smart man. Spray adhesive, I've done 2 of Maggie 55's patterns on these Sewalongs. I have spray adhesive. And actually, we talked about this last time. So, we were doing the classic zip-around wallet, and we were talking about whether or not, so I have this Loctite spray adhesive, and I ended up getting it because I ran out of the previous stuff, whatever I was using. And we talked about whether or not this was going to be okay on my fabric. What I discovered is, a little bit of fuzzy on them. What I discovered is that it works just fine with fabric, though I do need to be a little heavier on spraying when using it. So instead of the 3M, which is what I had used before, I'm using the Loctite now because I've got like 2 or 3 bottle or cans of it, however you want to call it. 2 or 3 cans of it bouncing around here, and I do need to use about 1.5 times as much instead of 1 time over the 3M. But the price differentiation wasn't that much. In future, I plan on buying the 3M. It's a black can. It's a little bit taller than this one. It's squared off at the top like this one. The can comes in and then goes up. The 3M one is straight, just like a regular spray paint can. I like the feel and the way that it works better than the Loctite. The Loctite works just fine. So that's what's going on there. Or you can use fabric glue, double-sided tape, etc. Erasable fabric marker, which I have a ton of. 10-inch long, 1/2-inch wide bias tape. I have an entire drawer of bias tape that is unraveled from the little cardboard thing that they put it on, so I'm not worried about that. Please do me a favor. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section. and I will answer them as we go. See, and I thought it was being so cool, I threw my spray adhesive in the air and flipped it over, caught it just fine, and then hit the floor when I was trying to put it away. So I'm going to put the Hello Kitty stuff away. Come here, you guys. And we are going to start in on this baby. I am so excited. Some of the most entertaining projects you guys come up with. Let's do this one. Okay. And some commenter ended up saying at one point, she says she loves seeing the different patterns that we vote on. I know I only gave you 2 this time around. You'll have a plethora next time. But she loves seeing the ones that we vote on because that brings brand new projects into her. So she finds brand new patterns that she hasn't seen before, new ideas. It's just so much fun. I love doing this with you guys. So thanks. Thanks for being here. Right? Alrighty. Let's get started. So we went over all the all the items, and page 4 talks about prepping your fabric. If you're using this weight fabric, you should probably use this foam interfacing. The 3rd paragraph down is going to be a little bit important. Where's my highlighter? It talks about, see, one of the things I always have a hard time with is, what do I interface first? Do I do the foam interfacing and then the regular interfacing? Because sometimes you want the regular interfacing, the woven fuse, to seal down the other piece, and different designers do them different ways. And so I always try and make sure that I'm doing it the way that they suggest because they have a tried and true method. So this 3rd paragraph is talking about fleece interfacing can be added to the wrong side of the lining back panel and the gadget pocket piece. And so when I go through and do this, use fleece interfacing to the wrong side of the interface lining back panel gadget piece, foam can be added to the strap and the top strap tab. Backpack is meant to be semi-flexible, and hence it's not necessary to add foam or fleece to any exterior pieces other than where they are already recommended. So the reason I keep talking about wanting to make sure that you follow the directions is because the designers have had people test these patterns, like 3 or 4 testings, and feedback, and you more than likely know these pattern designers and their testers. You probably talk to most of them. So when something gets as far as getting published, more than likely it's pretty clear that everything is ironed out. Now, some revisions need to happen sometimes, but these things happen. Okay. The rest of it is talking about you might want to make sure you print it out right. Pattern pieces cut at the solid line, tape the pieces together, yada yada. If you've done these kind of patterns before, the next 2 paragraphs, very, very common. You know what they're going to say. Here, tips and tricks. I love this part too. It made me very happy. Heat seal the ends of your nylon webbing after cutting to avoid fraying. Very important step. Please don't skip that part. Use a narrow foot for ease of sewing around the curves. One of the things that I've found is that while doing all the classic zip round wallets from Maggie 55 that we did last time, you really need to be careful while going around that curve. If you follow the edge of a wide zipper foot, you're not going to have the right dimension. But if you follow the inside and actually watch where the needle's going, you're going to get the right dimension. So that's what that's talking about. Use a sharp needle. I'll be using a microtext. I ended up switching to the chrome microtext ones, which are amazing. I also have some really stupid cheap ones that I got from Wish, just trying them out. To minimize cutting time, fuse your interfacing and then cut out your pieces. Backstitch it to start and stop. This is another one of the things that I absolutely love seeing this because it tells me not only the pattern pieces, but what they are and how they are arranged as far as directional fabric. Now I have sort of a directional fabric. So Jack's skeleton is right side up this way, and he's right side up this way. So his head is by my fingers here, and his head is by my fingers here. So I have a mildly directional fabric. I mean, there are gargoyles that kind of go every which way and other things. My Hello Kitty fabric is very schizophrenic. I can go any right way up, but it's one of the things that I like seeing because especially pattern piece D, I could cut that on an angle, or if I'm going to do pattern piece D, which is one of the arching over pieces, if I cut that out on, say, like my diagonal fabrics with the diamonds, that might end up going a little wonky, especially if I have it next to another directional pattern piece. Alright, let's cut some stuff out, because now we go straight into sewing. And I believe it told me there was a cutting page at the back, if I remember correctly. There we go. Style 2. So page 33 has got all our cutting directions. Let's get into it, shall we? Front flat panel, 2 exteriors. So this guy's my exterior. If I can get my fabric to behave. A few things to move around. There we go. Is the front flat panel, cut 2 of the exterior. Now I'm doubling the interfacing for anything that is my exterior, and A is the only pattern piece that I cut out in this shiny stuff. So I'm going to decide that I'm going to line that right up against the grain line, and because I have, and that means everybody, that Jack is just a little bit skewed one way and just a little bit skewed the other, but that's the way he's supposed to be. I'm going to be able to do this on. Then you're going to watch me struggle and yell at paper pattern pieces and be annoyed by them. So this is actually a piece of my tailor's chalk that ended up getting broken. And I wanted to make sure, the reason I did this one pattern piece is I wanted to make sure that I had Jack in good places, like him right here above that zipper is a great placement. Not so great for this one, but no big deal. I like that one, and I kind of like that he's at the corners. He's probably going to get cut off a little bit over here. Maybe I'll switch that down. Nah. I think this one will be just fine with the directional. Is doubled over, so I'm just going to go with it. If I don't like it, I will cut out something else. So I really got to know who loves cutting out and who hates cutting out, because it's usually one or the other. And there are days where I want nothing to do with cutting out, and there are days like I want to lay out this pattern, I'm going to put this here. So I'm pretty much one or the other at any given time. I do want to remind you that if you have missed part of this, or you want to go back, or if you ever need to see part of it again, I do save these to my YouTube channel, but they're also saved in Barb's Bags Facebook group under videos, just in case you didn't know where those were. My YouTube channel is under Altered Notions. That's what the A on the screen is. That's my company logo. Alright, let's see how Jack fared on this side. Hey, he did pretty good. I mean, he got his face cut off over here, but he looks really good in these two. Oh, and that one's perfect. That's the front side, right there. This is going to be my front. Because he's perfect right there. Oh, and he's right there too. The reason I love using tailor's chalk is it irons off so easily. I can write all over a lot of fabrics. Now there's some fabrics that will hold tailor's chalk, but and I tend to write pattern letters and things on there. And Sherry is a 50-50 with cutting as well as I am. Yep. There are days where I want nothing to do with cutting out fabric, and there are days I'm like, yes, I want to design. Alright. So I've got that. I did already cut out my vinyl accent piece. This is going to be black, and then the Hello Kitty is going to be this blue color. So I've got 2 pieces cut out, everybody. No interfacing, but 2 pieces cut out. It is forward progress. And hey, these are really easy hair clips if you ever need them. Okay. Main body panel, cut 1. Okay. So I think I'm going to pull this page. So I'm going to pull page 33 out. And I'm going to put it right behind this page 2. So that I can see, so that when it says cut 2 of this or this many of that, I can flip back here and go, okay, which one is where? So we're doing main body panel, cut 1 of exterior, 3 of lining. Where is my main body panel? Oh, we're not pictured here. So this is the pattern piece. This is the pattern piece we're talking about. I'm pretty sure that's the piece that goes right behind the ankle part. And I think that one's going to be the checkered. Just to make people's brains kind of go, what? We need 1 exterior and 3 lining. I'm going to do this for a lot of my pockets. The interior lining is just going to be black. So I have 1 in this fabric. I am a little disappointed that there's no grain lines, because now I have to like assume that this is straight and line up everything from there. I mean, I'm sure it is, but and grain lines is dealing with line it up against this connection of the diamonds right there. Dealing with grain lines is from doing clothing, because you want to make sure the grain line is straight so that when a fabric lays on somebody's body, it doesn't zip in. And test this. Looks great. See, this is why I don't love my plastic templates. I don't ever like go off the line. I just have to put the marker right next to it and make it like slide. Looks effortless. Allowances are going to be awesome. These are going to be so much fun. New challenge every time we do a solo. Still wondering why I'm doing all of this standing up. I have a rolly chair. And my allowance for excess paper was too much. There we go. And because I already see this pink turning purple and decaying as far as color, I'm going to very quickly sketch this in chalk because the chalk isn't going to go anywhere. I'm pretty sure the panel that the diamond is for doesn't have a pocket on it, but just in case. Alright, cut this out really quick. I did get these markers off of, I have to make like an Amazon list. Because everybody's like, where did you get these? And then they'll ask me about something that if it didn't the string, I'm like, I have no idea. Probably Amazon. But the specific listing always eludes me. And I tell you that Premier membership really pays for itself really quickly. Especially when you don't have something you need to keep. Like for a solo. These markers, they fade so quick and they go away. And there's, so the pack that I got, some of them just fade within a few minutes. Some of them will stay on until you rub them down with water. It has to be water, not steam. Steam doesn't work. Some of them are permanent. It's really cool. And it's different colors. This has the different qualities. Alright. So that's one of the 4 pieces that I need. The fun part is this is going to come off as soon as I interface it. That's okay. Alright. Over to where I house my solid fabrics. I have a dark gray. So the 3 linings are going to be the, oh yeah, okay, so 1 lining if you're doing the style 1, 3 linings if you're doing style 2. These are the individual dividers between the front couple of pockets. So I'm going to use those in a gray. And it's a little bit of a lighter gray than I have for the exterior. Almost doesn't quite go. But since it's in a different compartment, I'm not too worried about it. So 3. Part cup to hold things and part weight. Awesome. sure the chalk wouldn't give me such a good defined line. I mean, it didn't on the other fabric I was using it on. I would have whipped through this way. Cut these out of templates. See, it's already partially here. Another reason I'm using this gray is because I have a ton of gray and almost no black. And since this is an applicable place to use the gray, might as well use it. Now I know there's like 17 million pockets to this thing, which are going to be fun. But I wish we had a guide of this piece is going to have this pocket on it. I mean, obviously this one's going to have some zipper pockets into it. Because then I could plan out my patterns, my colors better. Alright, that's 2. And I need 1 more. Close to the top cutout as I can, and as close to this edge as I can. I'm not too worried about graying line as far as on this because there's really nothing discernible. The only problem I'm having is I'm trying to draw over my own binder. Move it right now. My hands full. This the most awkward way possible for your entertainment. The retreat, I saw some people just whipping out their rotary cutters and doing this. I'm like, I have no idea how you do that. I mean, and I swear to high heaven, they were going around curves, and I was like, dude, that's there's no way. Unless I had like one of those. Who does those? The acrylic templates. Those are awesome. There are acrylic templates of a lot of these patterns out there. I forget who makes them. I'm sure one of you knows. But I was looking at one of them for XOXO Lauren's Fairy Flip and Fold. which I've done a couple of times. But she had an acrylic template at the retreat, and it was cool. But I'm easily impressed, I suppose. Okay, so we have 3 lining, 1, let's make sure I can count, 2, 3, and 1 exterior. And I will keep the pattern piece with them, so when I need to cut out this layer, or stitch out this layer, or whatever we're doing with this layer, I will be ready. Alright, that's 3. I bet you someone has told me what. Yep, tops and bobbins. Yep, you're right. You are, Sherry, you're absolutely right. It is tops and bobbins. Good call. I just could not, for the life of me, think of their company name. And I knew it was something cute and cool, but it just wasn't coming to me. Alright. Back panel, 1 of each. Obviously I'm not doing interfacing because I'm going to do interfacing an entirely different way. Back panel is definitely being in black. I think I'm going to do that in chicken wire. And then I'll do a yellow zipper across the back. Yeah, I like that. That and this fabric, even though it's been washed, is still pretty sturdy. The other fabrics that I've been playing with have not been as rigid. So I have this piece cut out to there. Oh, perfect. Wow. Look at that. That's perfect, right? Up to that edge. Excuse me. Where's that tiny little piece of chocolate? And I know these strap placement lines are going to be really important, so I'm going to draw those on while I'm thinking about it. Actually, I'm not, because I'm going to interface this thing like crazy, so it's just going to be ironed out off and go away in a few minutes anyway. Go. So that's 1. And now I found myself like keeping the tiny little scraps like this for the ends of zippers for the classic zipper on wallet. And I am exploding with scraps like that. I'm like, I gotta start letting some of this go. It will decompose and it'll be fine. It is okay to not keep them. I'm not doing such a great job of that, but I am trying. But this black one will go with anything. So I'm gonna dump some. And then let's do a scrap heap. It will not get used. Has everyone seen that Cutout Stitch has provided a discount code for this pattern? It's good through tomorrow. If you haven't bought it already and are thinking about it, I strongly encourage it because this pattern looks like amazing fun. Okay, so there's an exterior. I still need a lining. This one I will do in black because this will be the back main part. And this is a really pathetic black. It's fairly see-through. So I'm going to interface this guy like crazy. Oh, look, a straight line. Cool. Not like a straight-ish line. actually, I found out that on the first Sewalong that I really should have these pieces cut out and interfaced and just talk a lot about them for the first Sewalong. But my week has been crazy. I have no sanity whatsoever. But hey, that means I'm busy and I'm having fun, so that's the important part to me. I love being busy. This pattern looks like so much fun, you guys. All right, so that is the C. I'm doing interfacing later, so you guys don't sit there and get bored with me. I know, I got fuzzies all over my butt. I washed it. D, top zipper panel, one exterior, one lining. Okay, so for the top zipper panel, I need to know what that one looks like. Let's see if we have it labeled. Top zipper panel, okay. Excuse me, so this is the part that's behind the front clippy part. So I want that to be, that needs to be my chicken wire one. That's gonna be this guy. Because I have the panel right behind Jack's skeleton being the diagonal. So this will be the top zipper panel. And that's the funny looking hooky one. That's this guy. And you have to keep this piece, this part on the fold. So the big piece is going to be the part that's on the fold. And this will lead to the backpack strap. So the nice thing is I have some directions on this. Actually, I think I'm going to make it go this way. So because the chicken wire is right side up when it's like this. So it actually looks like chicken wire. But if I make it right side up this way, it's going to be less obvious. So let's do that. Of course, anybody who watches the video will know I'm using chicken wire. It's fabric. It's hard to translate. Chicken wire. So I'm a very big fan of keeping fabric as minimalist as possible. So I try to make sure that I use as little fabric as possible whenever cutting out. Like I said, I keep a lot of my scraps. So you'll see me like reposition this thing like 6 times. Just to make sure that I keep this edge right there, but get as close to here as I can, and as close as high up as I can, without making it look stupid. And this one I'm actually going to pull it. I don't want it shifting on me. So I'll take the pattern piece off, but I'll keep that fold, and I'll keep the clips on the fold so that the fabric doesn't shift on me while I'm cutting this out. That one I'm throwing away. I love it when it gets to be Halloween because all the new Halloween fabrics come out. And I have way too much fun with some of these. There we go. Alright, and I need 2 of these. Yep, one exterior, one lining. So this is going to be the lining on the interior of the main bag, so that one's going to be in black. And I'm trying to find the most economical place to cut that out. So this way. I'm lining it up against this previous cut there, making sure this edge doesn't come off, so I need to move it over just a little bit. And I'm moving everything over, including all the way down here, because I want to make sure that everything stays straight. And this does happen to be on the grain line. For those quilters and those home sewers of clothing. I'm still keeping everything on the grain. Just this direction, instead of this direction. No diagonals except for, you know, what's intended. And that's going to be interfaced to within an inch of its life anyway. There we go. Alright, one of each. Oops, I missed the spot. There we go. One exterior, one lining. So my homework before next week is going to be to interface all of this so that we can actually get moving on some of this. This piece I'm keeping because it's fake. Alright, so that's, I think, D. Top zipper panel. Narrow zipper gusset. Style 2 only. One exterior, one lining. So narrow zipper gusset is the one in the front, the wide zipper gusset is the one in the back. I'm going to do black. I'm actually going to pull out a different texture of black. So I have some, these were napkins that one of the other ladies at the retreat had. She was actually my roommate. She was awesome. I'm going to use that for this because it's a little bit of a heavier weight, and I'm going to actually iron it out because otherwise it's going to misbehave when I'm trying to get things done. But I'm going to use a little heavier of a weight fabric because it's on the outside, and I'm not doing a lining. Well, I'm going to use the heavier one for the exterior. I'll just use regular fabric for the lining. Oops, that's a fold. Be careful. Yeah, so this goes around the bottom of the bag, so be careful. I almost got in a row. Maybe I'll go straight. Watching the grain line because there is one here. Pretty sure I got it. There we go. One of the things I like using chalk for is because sometimes if I don't know, if I don't want anything to shift, I can just drag the chalk along the edge of fabric. And it'll outline it. So that's the narrow zipper gusset. And since I have this nifty exterior stuff sitting here, I'm going to grab, as soon as I figure out where I put the pattern piece, where's the other one? Wide zipper gusset. Because it is fabric on a backpack, I'm going to end up spraying these with a fabric protectant that I usually use for shoes. I also have a Rust-Oleum type product that a friend of mine picks up for me, and it's waterproofing. Shifting on me just a little bit, so I'm going to realign everything. There we go. Just did not want to go where I wanted it to go. And that wanted to hit the floor. Alright, get this out of the way. And we'll pull the regular black back up here for the lining pieces. And I think these will go this way. Maybe not. Hi, kitty. The kitty sitting tend to do 2 points of contact because then it keeps everything flat and straight. We got E and F done here. I keep my pattern pieces with my fabric pieces, otherwise I'm never going to remember what in the world went where. That's E and F. G, H, I, J. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. There we go. G, H, I, J. G, top strap tab, is the little guy between the zipper, top zipper panel and where the strap actually goes. So I did top zipper panel. I think that's, what did I do the top zipper panel in? Oh, top zipper panel. Main body. Flat panel. Oh, top zipper panel. Where did you go? Have we cut out the top zipper panel? Now I gotta figure out. Okay, top zipper panel is D. We just did. Where did I put it down? Oh, right. Derp. So this is our top zipper panel. So it's the piece just above this. So that's the way it goes. So now I have to decide what's going to go right there above that. And I think I'm going to go into, let's see, my strap is gray. My actual strap itself is gray, so there's going to be a gray piece that goes over that. Where did you go? And my black buckle, so that's going to look great. So it's going to be, kind of look like this. So this should probably be a solid black. Either that or the chicken wire. But I don't want to try and match the patterns from sewing to sewing, so I think I'm going to make that a solid black. Oops, as I throw everything around. Okay, so I will grab that napkin fabric again. This is not napkin fabric. This is my regular white, or my regular black. Did I put it away? I did. Who would have thought? Okay. So, 2 exterior. And this one, if I remember correctly, actually has a piece of foam behind it. So I may not interface this as much as I interface the bottoms. One. Guys are seeing is this is a true black, but in the screen that I see on my stream it looks a little bit gray. Alright. 2 exteriors. H. Strap. One foam fleece and 2 exteriors. Well, I know I'm doing the strap anchors out of this guy. But I don't know which part this is strap. I think I'm going to do this strap in diamonds, but I'm going to cut these strap anchors really quick. I'm going to skip over to I, guys, in case you're playing the home game and trying to keep up. Oh, and these are not 90-degree triangles. I was thinking they would be. white or a pink or a blue version of this kind of fabric. I'm going to do this for the Hello Kitty version. I might just interface the high heaven out of cotton. What I have a really nice dash of purple. Purple might work. I have a purple in a canvas. Ooh, this would be good in canvas. I really want to make one of these in with cork accents and cork pieces. I really want to play more with cork. Ever since Nicole's patterns from Sewalong, she did a pattern with us, the retreat. Oh my goodness, that was so much fun. This was my first time working with cork. It was one of the main reasons I was coming, was to play with cork because that was featured. This is so cool. Alright, so we skipped over I. We'll do H as a strap. And since I haven't done anything else with diamonds, that should be cool as far as diamonds goes. You know, I won't cut it out wrong. To exterior on the fold. It's probably going to be this way. I'm going to mess up people's lines and do it this way. Ooh, with this directional, I'm going to have to lay it out. I don't get to do it on the fold. So what I'm worried about is sometimes when you iron it, you don't actually have everything laid out 90 degrees and everything flat and straight. The salvage edge is not always a 90 degree to what we're working on, 90 degrees to what the pattern shows of the fabric. So what I just stopped and realized is if I cut it on the fold, this line right here between the diamonds may not be this line right here between the diamonds off of the fold. So if I want to get everything straight, and I think I'm going to use the midpoint of the black diamond right there, I'm going to have to draw it out without using the fold. This is the strap, or this is the padding that the webbing goes through. I lost my tiny little piece of chocolate. Cute little thing. There we go. Okay. And that's one. So two is unfortunately going to be a little bit further in than one. Because there's a curve right here, what I'm cutting off. It does say exterior. sure I could have used a ruler to do this, but again, just because a ruler says that this particular line is straight, doesn't mean that it's actually straight on the fabric. In the pattern, and the pattern is the part that I'm really working with. So you might be able to do this with, do these dimensions with a rotary cutter if you're using a solid or a pattern that doesn't repeat, like a floral or an abstract geometric. But with such a straightforward geometric, I'm not going to be able to pull that off here. Make sure I'm cutting my pattern pieces. The nice thing is I can just pretty quickly slide along this line because I know where it is. These two, not so easy. This line is right down the middle of that diamond. This one, on the other hand, is a little bit. Someone is going to fall in love with this Jack Skeleton bag. Because I'm already in love with it, and it's just way too much fun. Designing these things, I have so much fun. Okay, so that is H. We did J, gadget pocket, 2 linings. Okay, so these are the inside of the bag, so this is where we start having fun. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story while I cut this next piece out. So I made a Star Wars bag, and it is awesome. It is so cool. But I made it, and I made all of the lining pieces with the same exact pockets. So they were all stormtroopers, first off. It was all stormtroopers, and it was all really cool, but the pattern was really, really busy. And what ended up happening was you can't find the pockets on the inside of the bag. So I have learned my lesson since then. Being sure to use a different pattern of fabric lining versus pockets. And since the interior of a lot of my stuff is either gray or black, I'm going to end up doing a lot of this. And I know I tend to not want to cut my pattern pieces out like this. But I am getting impatient. Thinking there for a second that I had done 4. No, I just did 2 at the same time. See, that's cheating, because they're not quite the right size. The second one on the inside is actually a little bit longer than it should be, but so very little that no one will notice. If you missed what I did, so here's the regular 45 of the fabric. What I ended up doing is, this is the regular fold. I ended up pulling this forward, making a new fold, and cutting it out. So then I have this piece that's on the outside, and then I have this piece that's on the inside, making two. Cuts time out a lot faster. Hi, Angie. So yeah, that one's cut out. What are we on? That was J. We're already on J, everybody. H-I-J. So we're on K. Zipper facing panel. Oh, these are all the things I probably didn't cut out. Oh, I did. K, L, and M. All out of linings. You guys are all going to be out of gray. Because I have extra gray fabric, and this is just a little piece of fabric that helps us turn. These little guys are pieces of pattern that help us turn the outsides to the insides. And thank you for smiles, Angie. Sorry, you're my friend, so a little like notification shows up on my when somebody joins that I'm friends with on Facebook. So it goes, hey, this person's here. And I tend to go, hey, I know that person. Alright, I'm going to cheat. Aww. So I have these cuff wide rulers, and if you've been doing tailoring work, you probably have them too. But this one is just a little bit wider than my cuff wide ruler. Literally just used to help turn the zipper pockets. I couldn't rotary this. She says after having cut most of it already. Do you like this stuff? Totally could have rotary cut it. But then I want to cut this piece off. Let's just say I'm weird about wanting to salvage as much fabric as possible. Excuse me. In case you were wondering, it tells me when my friends come on. It doesn't tell me when my friends come on. I was doing L before K, everybody. I'm in big trouble now. Okay, so L pattern piece is done. We'll worry about the lines on the inside later. See, this is why I don't rotary cut back. Just a little bit too wide. I'm still hearing noise. Well, thank you, Angie. But some of my other friends have shown up, and they probably left for the evening, which is fine. So we're basically just getting all of our stuff cut out at this point. We went over, at the beginning, we went over what fabrics to use. This does recommend a heavy upholstery. That's the word I'm trying to find all day. Upholstery fabric. Oop. This is style 2. I need to cut 2 lines. Almost done. How it does suggest in upholstery heavy fabric for the exterior. I have found that it's not the end of the world. It does give you the option to do a cotton, which is what I'm going to end up doing. So I'm doing a cotton, and it just says use 2 layers of interfacing. I'm going to use 2 layers of woven fuse. I could use a Decapelite, but I think that's going to be too rigid a bag. Because I still want the feel. Like the Decapelite gives it a really good hand. Like it's a heavy hand. It's a stiff one. But I want this one to still be a little loose. There we go. K and L, done. On to M. See, I was saving stupid little pieces of fabric. Can you use vinyl on this pattern? Yes, you can. Actually, if you go to the website where she said selling this pattern, it's at the very bottom. So pay hip, it's at the very bottom, right over here area. So if you go to that website and you look at the pattern, the black one is actually a quilted vinyl. I want to see somebody do this, or at least part of this in cork. And there's also a vinyl accent at the bottom, which I have already cut out. It's and this is the quilted vinyl one too, just in case you're curious. I don't have a better picture of it to show you, but there is one, like I said, on her website. There's a little protectant piece of vinyl on the front. It's an accent, but it also protects the bag from getting dirty and icky and stuff like that. So yeah, you totally can. Angie is using a leather cotton vinyl on hers. Angie, you're gonna have to give me pictures of it. It's gonna be way too much fun to see. So we're on M, and then we just have N. And those are done. Those are all the pattern pieces. She did, so in the pattern, there are actual pattern pieces if you want to use the pattern pieces for the dimensions, or she gives you dimensions in the pattern. Says, okay, this piece is this big, this big, and cut this many of this, cut this many of that. So you can use the, she's given the pattern pieces and the dimensions, which I think is awesome. And more pattern makers need to do that, because some people are like, I can't do a pattern if I don't have the pattern pieces. Like, and you know, everybody works and thinks differently, so having that diversity is a really handy thing. I definitely love it for the mesh pocket, because the mesh pocket's going to be a little fun to cut out. Which, since we're talking about it, and it's right here, and I'm going to end up cutting out 2 mesh pockets. Okay, so there's a stretch this way, and there's a lot of stretch that way. So I'm going to call this way. Oops. trying to cut both of these out at the same time. So I have two different patterns that I'm doing. I'm doing the Jack Skellington one, which is all this black and white stuff. And then I've got a Hello Kitty version that I'm doing as well. So, and both of them are going to take this color of mesh. And I'm doing the same thing here that I did with the other pocket. I'm cutting out both iterations of it at the same time. Just because I'm kind of done with cutting out things right now, so the easier and faster I can make it, the better for everyone involved. Alright, so that is two mesh pockets right there, cut out at the same time. It's like magic. Big, nice, big hole. And the big mess that it was on my table. Pull this back up, put it away. So at least I'll have one thing put away for this project today. My husband is out of town at the moment, so at least he won't come into my studio and trip over everything. How's everybody like the new camera? We got a little bit better of a view. This is an actual camera as opposed to a webcam. All the other ones are the other views of my stuff. So my ironing board and my sewing machine are webcams. This is an actual camcorder camera. So you're going to get a better picture out of this one. So somebody at least pretend to tell me that it looks better. Just lie to me, tell me I spent my money in good faith. Okay, so we have a handful more of pattern pieces. It looks like pocket pieces, card slot backing, mesh binding, and mesh pocket. So we already got the mesh pocket. And then we're going to cut the webbing. Thank you, Lana. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So you can see all the colors in my hair now. Okay? So yes, brand new camera. I need to clean up and I need to get a new prep table. That's one of my next big things. Alright, zipper pocket panel, back zipper pocket panel, pen pocket, mobile pocket, card slot backing, mesh binding, and mesh pocket. Just a few more things to do. I'm actually going to cut this webbing and talk to you about that. I'm going to skip to the bottom for a sec as soon as I figure out where I put my lighter. I know where it's supposed to be. Because I don't want to cut the pocket or the webbing without having my lighter handy. And I'll tell you why. That baby is going to start unraveling like crazy and I do not have it up here. I could have sworn it was in my office desk drawer. Because I don't smoke or anything, so I don't have a lighter that usually hangs out. In this studio, I have one just for this specific reason. Huh. Well, this desk has moved a few times. This is the last place it was. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. So I'm not gonna cut the webbing. Darn it, I'm not gonna cut the webbing until I get my lighter in hand. Because cutting that webbing without sealing off the edge, and you really do need a flame or something like that. I could get my soldering iron working, but that's a little more dangerous than I'm willing to be. And I do not recommend gluing it because it's not going to stay. So this fabric, or this plastic webbing, this stuff, does need to be burned at the edge. It's more like melted, and you don't want to let it turn black. So just before it turns black. If it's turning black, you sat it there too far. All right, zipper pocket. Okay, so all of these pocket panels. What do I have the most of? So it's all going to be either on my black or my gray fabric. The gray is the interior of the little zipper pockets, and the black is the interior of the main pocket, or the main back piece, and then there's going to be something right there. So I don't want it to be diamonds, and I don't want it to be Jack Skeleton. I think I might do one of them this yellow color that's in my bat's eyes. There's a bright yellow color that sits there. And if I stitch that in black, it's going to look really neat. And orange yellow. That is if I have that yellow. Just might. Okay, that looks right. There we go. That one might be a little bit too bright. I played with the color too much. This one's just a slightly less bright. I like that one better. But I don't want to use a lot of it because this is for the interior and it is for pockets. So it's something that you don't like get dirty. Zipper pocket panel. Back zipper pocket panel. Pen pocket. Mobile pocket. Card slot pocket. Card slot backing. Let's do this for the card slot pocket. I like that. And just one. Just one little square. I'm like, I'll just rotary it, but then I don't want to cut off the entire piece because I don't need to go a whole 45 wide. I can use it for other projects. Okay. And nothing really square. And these kind of pieces are always where my my scrap interface pieces go. The linings and pockets. Now this piece, totally gonna rotary it. And I need my Post-it notes. So I have these tiny little Post-it notes. That I tend to put, I'll write these in two. I'll be like, this is this. So this is cardstock pocket. And of course the pattern pieces are over here too. And so I was going to do back zipper pocket panel. I'll do two of those. That is this. Grab the wrong marker. Hey, Black. Don't ask me why I'm not cutting this the other direction. It would have worked just fine, but I'm cutting it the other direction. How the rotary people do it. And I needed two of those. And I'm going to take a little pencil. So I could this one. And I'll put an extra pocket. Cardstock pocket. So I can keep track of when I'm on the day. Otherwise I'll be very confused. this later when I go to cut out the Hello Kitty one. Okay, so that's a little bit of the bright color to kind of offset all of the black and white and gray. So we'll put this away. Ooh, I have a stain. Should have started cutting around that. Can't see that until just now. So I have a pen pocket, I have a mobile pocket, I have a cardstock backing. I think I'll do the mobile pocket in the diagonal. One at, not that much. So what I'm looking at is the fact that my diamonds are not squares. And then they're not straight lines either. Now I can re-iron it into a straight line, but that's a lot of work. I'm not really work I want to put into and boring you guys out of your minds right now. So what I will do is I will just square this up. Pretend that's straight. Totally didn't even try. So glad I got that on record. Okay, so I need, this is the mobile pocket. So I'm a quilter. I totally get the squaring everything off. But there are days when I do not understand. I just drew a pink marker on a completely black background. There are days I do not understand how these dimensions are figured out, and you know, there are days. So I can cut this out according to the dimensions of the diamonds, but I'll have to pull it a little bit to get it square, is what I'm trying to get across and failing miserably at. And how many of these do I need? Just one. Because the diamonds are not squared up, so the pattern to the fabric is not at a 90-degree angle. Like this is not a 90-degree angle. Although it looks like it is. Unfortunately it isn't. It's really close, so I won't have to do much, but I'll just have to stretch the fabric a little bit to kind of force it to become a 90-degree. There we go. Hopefully it won't be too much work. So I'll put a little check mark next to the pattern piece as I draw it out in, because I'm going by measurements, but she does, like I said earlier, have the pattern pieces as part of the pattern. I just find it easier to do it this way. And I'll do a check mark as I do the Jack skeleton, and then I'll do a cross to the check mark when I do the Hello Kitty version, because I'm doing two versions of this. The mesh binding. Oh, is the little, it's going to be running across the top of the mesh pocket. Hi, Kathy. The mesh binding is going to be a little piece of fabric that runs across the top of the mesh pocket. I'm not going to worry about cutting that out right now. It's a 9.5 by 1.5 inch piece, I bet you. So what I'm looking for is to find out where that binding is. No, it's not that. 1 inch wide nylon webbing strapping. That's not what I want. Swivel clasp strider. We went through all the hardware at the beginning of this. Zipper, earrings, strap. Why am I missing this today? There's our mesh fabric. Oh, there it is. 10 inches of 1/2 inch wide bias tape. So I'm gonna go see if I have some black 1/2 inch wide bias tape and some pink 1/2 inch wide bias tape. Usually that's what I make. You can make bias tape. Obviously, if you want to create a bias, which is the diagonal of any fabric. I also use it for piping this fabric to cover piping. It's just leftover scraps that I had a big piece and I needed some. I was doing it actually. I think this is what binding. There's some binding from the quilt in here, and there's some. Well, I found black. Okay, so I have a piece of white ribbon that's nice and shiny that I will end up folding over for bias tape. This is black and it's very wrinkly because I made it forever ago, and it will turn into beautiful bias tape for the Jack skeleton one. So I have bias tape. It only needs 9.5 inches. I have plenty, and I absolutely have plenty. This one I'll have to do some folding with and some ironing, but I have it all. So I'll put it over here with the other pattern pieces. And since it is a piece to cut out, I will check mark these off. Patterns. Okay, so what do we have left? Zipper pocket panel. And there's going to be 6 of them. I'll probably do that in the chicken wire color pattern. I have a pen pocket. And I have a card slot backing. Let's see. The reason I'm hesitating is that there's 2 different lining colors now. There's the lining color for the littler pockets, the zip over pockets that are in the front, and then there's the black is the big pocket in the back. And I don't know if these zipper pocket panels are in the back or the front. I think they're in the front. So if they're in the front, then that's going to be the gray lining. So I want to do the black for the zipper pocket panel. See, all I have to do is talk it through. So some days. Some days. Alright, and I need 6 of these. Now I have a Taylor Swift song in my head. It was playing just before I left work today on my Pandora. Taylor Swift song in my head. See this I'll rotary through. Oh wow, I'm gonna get a plan out of a truck. I have maybe an 1/8 of an inch of fabric on the back end, and that's gonna be all 6 of them. Dang, that was lucky. Or really good planning on the pattern maker's matter of the pattern maker's part. I'm gonna go with the latter. It sounds like a pattern maker thing if they did that. So these are zipper pocket panels. And I'm also putting the dimensions on them just in case. That, and I'm going to come back through and do the Hello Kitty version of this too, so. Alright, so pen pocket is probably in the main part, which is black, so I'm going to want a gray fabric for that. And this one gets divided, if I remember right. And we need to. So I'm just kind of rough cutting this one out because I don't really have a good, easy place to cut it out of in the other places of the fabric. I'm going to get that. I have a crease in my fabric, so I'm going to iron that out really quick so that it isn't there and messing up my dimensions. Okay. There we go. lining up the selvage edge and cutting that off. I'm hoping I didn't mess this up. Okay, good. I only need one. Well, but I needed two. Too bad the Hello Kitty. I need to change my overlay blade. Too bad the Hello Kitty one won't be this color. Pen pocket. That dimension's only one. Okay. Guys, we're in the home stretch. Here it is. Oops. Jack's got to piece down the side. Almost there. One more. Card slot backing. Okay, so card slot was the big yellow piece. Card slot backing, I think we're going to do in gray. And hey, this piece is plenty big enough. And it already has a straight line. Thanks for sticking with me, Lana. Or is it Lana? I hate mispronouncing people's names. I apologize if I have done so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Card slot backing. Alright. Okay, so that's the card slot backing. The webbing I'm not going to cut. We'll cut it as soon as I find my lighter. So we'll do that next week. And these pieces will get used for other projects. Alright. So, webbing strapping, 2 pieces that are 5 inches long for the side relief buckle connectors, 2 that are 3 inches long for the D-ring connectors, and 1 that's 25 inches or longer for the adjustable strap. So we'll do those next time around. Lana, like lawnmower. Thank you, Lana. I appreciate that because I hate mispronouncing people's names. Drives me crazy. All right. Because, you know, Christy is easy. Most people can get that one pretty quick, but there are some names that just need better pronunciation. All right, so we'll do the webbing and strapping next time. And we cut all our pieces out. By the time we get together next time, I will have interfaced all of those pieces, so we'll get ready to sew. I will also have attached the foam or fleece interfacing, which I am using felt. And I know I kind of talked about that at the beginning of our conversations, Here's a couple pieces of the felt I use. It's just regular off the bolt felt, and I've used it used it before in case you can't tell. But it works really, really well. Sometimes I usually spray adhesive it, and it goes on just fine. I've never had any problems with it ripping or tearing, which is sometimes a concern. Yeah, so that's what I'll be using for the foam part. I do have the regular foam stuff. I just find that it has too much rigidity sometimes, and I want this to be a little more of a relaxed bag despite doing a double layer of interfacing. The woven fuse. Alright, we cut out all our pieces, and the next thing is sewing. So we'll start on page 6 next week. And thank you so much for sticking around and hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. I know it gets a little quiet sometimes, but that's because, you know, I'm actually trying to think through this stuff. If you have not chosen to pick up the pattern yet, I strongly recommend it because this pattern looks like a blast. And use the use the free code down here, Wayfarer's Al code. It's all the way down here. My visual is flipped, so this is my right. Oh, that's your right too. So yeah, in there. So I'm just really excited about this guy because it looks hard, but it doesn't look hard. Like there's just a lot to it, and it's procedures that we've done before. You've done it in a million bags. Like I did this side zipper on a hobo bag from, I think Swoon, and I don't think I've done a diagonal zipper like this one before, so I'm really looking forward to that front diagonal zipper and figuring out how all of that works. And you know, I could have read the directions to figure out where all the pocket patterns are. They have beautiful pictures. I'm really excited about this pattern maker. I'm really happy with their quality of pattern too. We picked some really fun patterns. Oh, there's a diagonal on the back too. Neat. Oh, that's the front. Derp. All right, everybody, have a great evening, and thank you so much for joining me. What is the next time? Next time is literally a week from today. It starts at 6 p.m. Central on Wednesday. So I will see you all then. Have a great evening, okay, everybody? Bye now.